Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just hit the link in the show description to support now.
These marriages are not perfect, but all in all, they seem to work. Marriage is an institution for grown-ups.
It's like a love-hate relationship.
There are no bosses in a modern marriage. He knows he's lucky to have a wife.
Hello everybody, Thursday 16th of September. This is our last full day in Hampshire.
Yeah.
Laura's just climbing over the stile. I'm over it. Oh. First bit of exercise at day.
Oh, it's cold this morning.
Mist is a little, it's not misty, but there's like a thin mist in air, isn't there, as you look down.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is his last full day. Tomorrow morning we'll be setting off across to Bristol.
This is the first time I've seen like the white across the grass, you know.
It's not frost, is it? But it's like morning dew. Like everything's wet. But I mean, look at this morning though. It's really fresh. Absolutely blue sky. The sun's just up, you can hear the birds singing. We've just rolled out of bed. Bit of a dicky tummy, to be honest. I'll explain why in a bit. So yeah. Back to yesterday. Did anything, I'll tell you what, we got up and we started doing a bit of packing.
Yeah.
As we're going tomorrow.
We have to do the double pack this time.
Yeah. We've tried not to, I mean, half the stuff we've brought we've not unpacked. A lot of Leo's university stuff has stayed in suitcases, but then we've bought him. We bought another carload of stuff. It's going to be difficult to get it all in, even in the big estate car. But we started packing yesterday in the morning. And miraculously, you know, you think you fit everything you can in a suitcase. Like when we came over here,
Yeah.
I thought, well, there's nothing else going in these suitcases.
We did the sit on
Yeah.
whilst one person does the zip.
One of the suitcases actually looks twice as big as it's ever looked before. I'm just waiting for it to burst. So yeah, a bit of packing yesterday morning.
Yeah.
And then we were off for another adventurous day in Hampshire.
Yeah.
First stop, what was it called? Pet Lake?
Pet Lake Farm in Bartley. Walking with the alpacas.
Yeah, which sounds like a Channel 5 documentary starring, I don't know, Deborah Meaden. Somebody like that. Or Paul Merton. A weird combination of celebrities, Deborah Meaden and Paul Merton, walking with alpacas. Anyway, we've talked about it before, I think, that it's become a real, like the wild swimming, it's become a trendy...
Yeah, I mean, there's always been alpaca farms and probably even the walking, but recently I've seen it a lot, you know, people doing it, and then like wherever we've driven, we seem to see a sign for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's become one of the new crazes.
So we went to do it. Little farm and forest.
Yeah, and it was a family-run farm.
Yeah, didn't seem like a big business or anything.
No.
They were spinning alpaca wool. They had gifts made from alpaca wool.
Yeah.
And as soon as we got there, Betsy Pearl disappeared down this track and found the alpacas.
The babies.
She was happy. I could just hear her laughing from miles away, because the alpaca, look, I love the countryside, but I'm not a big animal fan. You know, what I mean by that is, I love animals and I respect them, but I'm not one of these people who needs to be near them.
You don't go gooey over animals, do you?
I don't like our dog. I like him,
He
but
does.
you know what I mean? I don't
You're not, yeah.
I don't love him like people love dogs. I like the cat. But the alpaca, I've got to say, he's fast becoming one of my favourite animals. The temperament is incredible, and they feel like the best carpet you've ever touched. Like a walking rug.
Yeah, they are, and they've got best fringes.
Well, the heads, you expect it to be wiry when you touch it for some reason, you know, a bit more like sheep. And then you touch these mad Scouser heads that they've got, and they're really nice and soft.
They are really soft.
They're all different colours.
And some were shyer than others, and they each had their own little character.
So, from the business side of it, it cost us 20 quid per person, pretty much, right?
Yeah, we did one of these private walks, but
for an hour's walk. So, yeah, like you said, were they females? Were they?
No, the ones we took out.
No, the ones we saw in the field.
No, they were boys but babies, so they weren't quite.
Oh.
They were 11 months old, so they weren't ready for the walk.
Something to do with if you let them near you when they're that young, they don't respect you. They think you're another alpaca or.
Yeah, well, no, they're saying they've got to keep them in fields and treat them like they're alpacas.
Yeah.
But
they got to learn the pecking order.
Yeah. But yeah, the girls are kept separate.
Well.
And they kept doing little dances.
Yeah.
For the boys. And we took out the boys who couldn't take their eyes off the girls.
Yeah. We were all given little bags of food that smelled like Play-Doh. And you had to keep it in your pocket because when alpacas get a sniff, they are on it.
Yes.
And that's another thing. I don't like feeding animals. I don't like touching them, really. But you put a bit of this food in your hand and you put your hand down, and it's just the strangest feeling.
You are so funny. It's like you've never done it before. You started giggling like a kid.
Because they got little furry lips. They got little furry tickly lips.
So have I at the moment.
Oh, brilliant. They're not very... Yeah, they're slobbery too. No, they're not. That's what I mean. They're not slobbery. I was expecting to get a handful of
tickly,
slobber.
isn't it?
It's really cute.
Yeah, but it's funny watching you.
So, I didn't really do any of the walking. I was taking photos of you and videos. Betsy Pearl got one called, was it Flint?
Flint and Leo had Gizmo.
Yeah, and your mum and dad had one. And, I mean, you can see the pictures on my Insta. They're just so pleasant to walk around.
And Gizmo was clever because what he did, he'd walk a few steps and he'd stop and refuse to move until you gave him some food.
Yeah, not stupid. They know the score with these walks, don't they?
Yeah, definitely.
They know, all these people are getting bags of food. But look, it was really nice. What I will say about it is, your mum's done it before and she told you that she'd done it in a slightly nicer setting. Now, the setting for me was beautiful. We were in a little wood, a little glade.
Yeah.
Beautiful trees. Wasn't the biggest of spaces. I guess probably half a football pitch, maybe forest. We walked around it a couple of times. Your mum's done one. She said she did it down the side of a river, perhaps.
Yes.
So you might be able to find a better place.
But I think that the one she went on was slightly more expensive. So
yeah.
I guess it swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, it's a nice experience. Look, and
yeah, no, it was good. I
normally
liked
with these things, I kind of do and think, well, we can tick it off now. I'd do it again because Betsy Pearl loved it so much.
Well, we can get a couple to join the 2 pygmy goats that I'm getting as well. So.
Well, in the Smedley homestead, what's it called? Small holding.
Yeah.
If we do eventually move home, I will be calling for llama over goats.
Not llamas, alpacas.
What's the difference?
Well, llamas are a bit more like camels. They're a bit more feisty and and bigger.
I remember many years ago driving to Stoke-on-Trent from Sheffield through the countryside, through the hills, and seeing what I thought was a llama farm, but now I'm starting to think, was it alpacas?
Who knows?
Anyway, that was alpacas. We loved it. And again, perfect weather.
Yeah, we were really lucky.
Surprisingly. So from there, we set the car GPS. Your dad gave me directions. I set the car GPS, it sends me in a totally different direction. We were going to a place called Acres Down Farm.
Acres Down tea rooms, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a farm and they've got a tea rooms on it. Now this place, when your parents got married a few years ago, finally, that's where they had the do afterwards. And it is, in the dictionary, under idyllic. It is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
To get to it, you have to go down windy little country lanes. I'm talking about single lane. If there's cars coming other way, you know, you're stuck. There's bloody horses everywhere. You know, we got stuck behind an horse on the way there. About 4 or 5 horses, weren't there? Maybe more. And you can't beep them. They've got right away. So you kind of just
give them a little nudge.
Yeah. Well, I find if you knock one of them down, the others get wary. But the GPS sent us in the wrong direction. So we got a little bit lost. Not lost. And we found it. But it's not the first time we've had trouble with the Skoda Octavia GPS.
It was way off.
For a brand new car, it is not the cleverest of GPS.
Yeah,
what we got there?
Something like that should be updated, shouldn't it?
Took us to the wrong farm, didn't it?
Totally, yeah. Oh, there's another couple coming towards us. We don't normally see anyone.
Are they coming our way? They got a little dog.
Oh, they're moving us aside.
Well, to the side of us is the shale path. The shells and the pebbles, which is crunchy. We're on the packed earth path. For acoustics more than anything.
Which is sometimes boggy.
Yeah, it's been alright, hasn't it, these last couple of days?
Yeah.
Now describe the view here, Laura, what we're looking at.
Well, we've got the sea and the activity centre, which looks like it's in a horror movie right now.
It's the fog. It's like that film I told you about. The fog has come in. You can't see the tower. You can just see a vague...
But it's got its own little fog above it. It's like a grey fog just above that. Yeah.
You can't see the ships up in Southampton, which you can normally see.
Just heard a ship with its horn just now.
Yeah. It's really beautiful. Feels like an autumn morning. Oh, I'd say a late summer morning, which is what it is.
Yeah, it does feel like, from when we first started doing these walks, that it's moving towards the autumn. You can feel it.
Yeah.
So yeah, cream teas.
So this place is a couple of buildings surrounded by the farm, which the family have run. Your mum says she's been going there for about 40 years. And has seen it build up. And the lady who served us, the old lady who's the owner, I think, her daughter came out as well, and she says, your mum says she was going there when she was a little girl, which is a nice thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I want to take a picture of this, but I don't even think you can see it, this fog. Yeah, so how much did the cream tea cost? £7 each?
£7, which sounds, I mean, I
think for what you got, decent.
Yeah, although my initial thought was, oh, that's a bit pricey.
Yeah. But if you go to Costa, you're spending that on a pretty generic piece of cake. Listen to that. So that's like a foghorn on a ship, I think.
Yep.
Oh, that fits the atmosphere, doesn't it? We got teas and coffees. We got a big pile.
Well, you get 2 scones each.
Yeah, 2 scones each you get.
Shush.
And 2 different jams. There was a raspberry jam and a plum jam.
Yeah.
Loved them both. And I don't like a lumpy jam, but they were homemade. Didn't mind it.
I preferred the raspberry. And then you get a choice of homemade slice of cake.
Now I missed this. I thought that when you asked me as we walked through, because I was straight out to the garden, I thought you said, do you want the cream tea or the cake? So I'm thinking, right, I'm out. Well, we said we were coming for a cream tea, so that's what I'm having. I'm having tea and scones and jam, and a big pile of cream. So the cake was a bonus to me, which I probably didn't even need. So we sat in this garden, stunning. You can see again on my Insta stories and Instagram, you can see all the pictures of this. It is one of the prettiest places.
Yeah, it's really popular considering it's tucked out of the way. So
the plant life in that garden, it is proper English country garden, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every colour.
But they shut shop 1st of October apparently until I think it's April, maybe earlier.
And they concentrate on farming then, don't they, apparently?
Yeah. So if you are down this way, that's the time of year you can go, but it's well worth it.
Yeah.
And then just outside of the farm, there's this little. Here we go again. Excuse me.
It's the chair.
There's a walk up to a little hill. Well, it's not a little hill. The walk up is little.
Yeah.
But then when you get to the top, the view is stunning.
It just opens up. Now it opens up to, I think it's called Boulder Wood, and it's the ornamental drive that we've been on before.
Is that Boulder Wood? Is
yeah.
It?
Yeah. You've taken me down there before to look for. It's an ornamental drive, and it's what, a deer sanctuary or something?
Yeah.
We didn't actually see any deer when we were there, but we had a lovely time. It was Betsy Paul's first proper play in the woods.
Ornamental drive is near Rhinefield House, which is where the Beckhams like to go. I think they've had all their children christened.
Really?
Yeah.
I can see that.
Well, I know that they paid somebody off. They had their wedding day there, but they needed that date, so they paid for their wedding and more.
Yes.
So they could have that date. So
that's money, isn't it?
Little fact for you. But yeah, so when you get to the top, it's like you can just see purple and
there's heather everywhere.
Yeah.
But then in the distance, it's pine forest. It looked to me like being in the Appalachian Trail or the Rockies. You know, suddenly just being in.
Yeah.
Mad countryside, because around here there's a lot of, what do they call them, heaths, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
A lot of heaths, a lot of open land with the ponies on and the horses and cows. But then when it is called the New Forest, when you get to the forest bit, it's so lush.
Well, I'm that's your one.
All right, mate. We know you're coming. I think that's a ship coming towards us, but we still can't see it. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do a video now that will be on my Insta stories today.
It's actually lifted just in the few.
But you still can't see the end. You still can't see the. See it just there where the. The lifeguard tower is. Here, let's just do a quick video. We'll leave this on podcast. So here we are, foggy morning, recording the podcast. That's the activity centre, which you can't really see. And the ship noise seems to be coming from that direction, right, Laura?
Yeah, somewhere over there. I think there'll be one coming this way.
Yeah. So we did the walk.
Well,
you split off down the hill.
Well, because I love a hill roll.
I mean, isn't it? Is it just a roly-poly?
No.
No, but it's not called a roly-poly.
No, roly-poly is a forward roll. This is laying on your side.
Yeah.
And then, arms crossed.
Going down the hill.
And then just rolling as far as you can go. Now,
as a kid, that is one of the main ways to travel around.
Yeah.
And you've brought it forward into adulthood. And early on in our relationship, we'd get to and I'm an outdoorsman, but we'd get to a grass bank, and even in this weather when the grass is soaking wet.
Yeah.
We was that Marwell Zoo or somewhere?
I think I've done it in Marwell, I've done it.
Some stately home in a zoo. And it was a really cold, miserable day. Betsy Pearl were poorly. And you just get down on the floor and start rolling down this wet hill.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've got one here.
Everybody looks at me, but yeah.
So you went on the hunt
and
yesterday.
I know Leo He wanted to do a hill roll
Yeah.
as well because he followed me. Betsy obviously wanted to do a hill roll. So they
Leo's got an advantage. That's definitely. Where is it?
Oh, there it is.
It's not that little one.
I think it is.
That's like you, that. It's little and it's too loud.
Yeah. It's not what you expect to come out of it.
Couldn't describe you any better. Both ends. Yet Leo
Sure.
has the advantage of looking like he's been hill rolling all day because he looks like such a mess all the time.
I've been told that that's going to change when he goes to uni. He said, I asked him yesterday. He said, oh, I don't need to try while I'm here. So
See, that's the bad attitude, isn't it?
I would have used this as practice.
Yeah, this is like, he's got his bike now, and I made him go out on it yesterday, and he went out with no helmet on. I was livid. And I said, I didn't go mad at him, but when I came back, I said, please put your helmet on every time you go out. He's got to get into it. But yeah.
Yeah, you know what it's like when you buy a new outfit, you put it on and you
love
ask,
new clothes.
and then you ask people's opinion, don't you?
Yeah.
And then you want to wear them for a little bit before you go out and wear them properly. That's what I would be doing. But anyway, oh, there's one coming from the other direction.
That's out to sea.
That's
Yeah, so
But yeah,
he's
so-
a hill roller, wanted to do it.
And then I soon realised when I laid down and got spikes right up my bottom very quickly that we weren't going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So you went off.
I went the top way up the hill.
Yeah.
Because they'd said that's where you get the view from. You got a bit of a view, a nice view, and then you went down
We
into the valley.
did some echoes instead.
And I went with your folks, and me and Dennis went off in front a little bit, and he was telling me all about it. Apparently it's a big spot for twitchers when what did he say the birds were? Goshawks, I think. When they're doing, what did he call it? I don't remember now. Displaying or something like that. Performing, displaying.
This sounds like dogging for twitchers.
It is.
To me.
It's when they're dancing in the air. So that really is a foghorn, isn't it? He's letting people know he's coming.
Yep.
Now look at that, Laura. You can see through. Now we can see through the huts to the sea, and look how clear it is. So that fog is sitting on the mouth of what I now know is Southampton Water and the Solent. Now there'll be, your dad's listening to these podcasts. What he's going to do today, normally about midday when he's listened to them, he'll come and grab me and he'll say, that what you're talking about is a phenomenon where the heat of the land meets the cold of the sea, and I'll get the full SP on it. I enjoy them little chats.
I'm out of the way when these go on.
Yeah, yeah. But like, he's a boring old fart and I'm a boring old fart. We like that stuff. We're
Yeah.
pedants.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh.
So you went off and did your roly-polies. I went the top route, had a look at the views, learnt about some nature up there. I got myself a bit of heather in the car. It's supposed to be good luck, heather in the car, I think.
Yeah, well, my mum and I were approached once. I think it's happened a couple of times actually, because I don't know what the official term is, but
Travelling folk.
yeah, you they
I think they're called gypsies.
well I
Romany.
yeah, like proper
But anyway, travelling people.
and they collect heather and they go and they tie it in like a string and they go off and sell it. But the thing is,
If you don't buy it off them,
yeah,
they tend to throw a curse
well,
your way.
they-
Well, these people did. I'm not saying it's everyone.
yeah. Both times we've refused, and the little old lady has put a curse on us. And apparently, my mum said the curse the first time was she was going to have a car crash in a blue car. Now, to be fair, she wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
But my mum,
I mean-
but my mum has crashed pretty much every car she's ever had.
That's similar to when you go to see a psychic and they go, is there anybody here who's lost someone with a vowel in their name? You know, they're fishing, aren't they? Can you
Someone's
see
here
Can you
for
see
the-
it? Can you
the
see this
what?
boat that's making all noise? There it is, look. It's a ferry. Sorry, you're just taking
You
a
get
picture.
excited, don't you, about ships and trains and planes?
I keep trying to explain this, that you're down here, you lived here, so this is day-to-day life for you, but it's not to me. And it doesn't matter that I've been coming here for over a decade. I love every little bit of it. Love the fields, love the sea, love the beach, love the birds, love the ships. I want this. I love it.
Oh.
He's really going for it, isn't he? So
yeah, so that was
lovely
pretty
walk.
much that part, and then whilst I was sat down the bottom of, is it a valley?
Yeah, I'd say we're a valley.
With Leo and Bets, I picked my phone up because I thought, I wonder if you guys are back. And anyway, pops up on my feed, Guinness free is now available.
This is the 0% alcohol-free Guinness, which I wanted to try, but I don't care about.
Yeah.
Because I don't like.
But just every time we've been in a shop,
Yeah.
we've just tried to find it, but it's not been there anyway.
So it's become a bit of a mission for you. Now,
So
here's
go on.
the surprising thing about the story you're telling.
It's non-alcoholic.
No. The surprising thing is that in the middle of a valley, in the middle of the forest, in the middle of the countryside, you got some internet, because we have paid top dollar for a big package on the phones for the internet. And literally, unless you're sitting with that bloody phone mast up your backside, you are not getting any internet.
Yeah.
So
It's
annoying.
So frustrating.
So back at the car, you're like, oi, we're off to Morrisons.
Yep.
Put it in the bad GPS. Now the GPS actually delivered on Morrisons, didn't it?
Yep. And it was literally pop in. There it was.
Yeah, just a pop in for the Guinness, weren't it? Except no, because every time we go to a shop, you buy an extra bottle of gin.
Well, the thing is, the flavours over here, you get a variety of flavours.
You're like a little kid. You're like me in a gadget shop.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a new GoPro. It's slightly better than my last one, and then you say, but you've got 7 GoPros at home.
But the dilemma
with the gin,
I've
it's the
got
same.
now is I've got all these open bottles because I'm.
It's a dilemma, innit? What are you going to do?
Yeah, but do I leave them here with my mum and dad, or do I put them all into one pot and have a cocktail,
And die from alcohol poisoning.
or do I?
The only bottle that's coming back with us is the glittery Marks and Spencer's Christmas drink.
But I mean, moving on to Bristol, do I take one?
Well, work out how many you can have a day. I mean, you're not having that many. So, we got the alcohol-free Guinness. It was just a pop into Morrisons. And then we were back home.
Yep.
Drove back again through the forest. I love it. And a quick turnaround at home. And we were back out with...
Well, Leo couldn't do his public
Yes.
toilet poo, so we had to wait for him to go in
Yeah.
the house.
So he rushed home. I'm sure he'll love this on the podcast. Rushed home to do his Kenneth Williams can only use his own toilet poo. That's a different one.
Yeah.
Slightly higher.
Maybe that's the lady boat.
Yeah. A slightly tighter horn hole.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Who doesn't love that? So when Leo had done his business, we went out just down the side of your mum and dad's house where we walked this morning.
Yeah.
Into the brambles, over the stiles. We'd all got a little bowl each.
Well, Betsy's been bugging us as well. Like, she started when we were in isolation, saying, "Can we go blackberry picking?" And I was like, "We can't yet." So I said, "When we come out of isolation, you can."
And to say it's right on the side of the house.
Yeah.
And when we do these walks in the morning, it's part exercise and part recording. And when we go at night, she's normally knackered. So it's not happened. But we did it yesterday. The 4 of us and your mum, off we trot with a bowl each. And Betsy has got the family gene, so instantly turns it into a competition. Mummy, you and Leo versus me and Daddy. And she said that because almost immediately I'd got half a tub of blackberries and I poured them into hers.
She doesn't know, does she? She doesn't know that her mummy is an expert blackberry.
Well, so we had a really enjoyable hour. We're kind of all splitting off in different directions.
Well, I tell you, I've sent you a photo of my bush,
Yeah.
and you didn't.
You're good at toilet anyway, you won't. And that's not a joke.
I had a lovely bush, and I was like trying to get you to come over to
I know,
it.
but as you were saying that to me, I was at a bush where the blackberries were very sizable, and I was trying to keep quiet about it because I didn't want anybody coming.
I was like, "Come over here." You're like, "No."
Got me bush. So an hour of that, and we got like a school lunch box, in fact bigger,
Bigger, yeah.
absolutely full to the brim.
Well, I actually said let's call it a day because we could have carried on. But
Yeah,
my feeling
we'd done
is
enough.
we should leave some blackberries
For everybody else?
Yeah.
Now as we're walking back, we're walking back upside of your parents' house to where through the trees and bushes to where the top stile is to get you back out onto the road.
Yeah.
And your mum's lagging behind because she's got the dogs. And an elderly couple came down. Now your mum knows everybody, so I assume she knew them.
Yeah, and Cowshot itself is,
Yeah.
everybody knows everybody.
So they see me. By this point, we've poured everybody's blackberries into the big container which I'm carrying. And the guy goes, "Well, you know where I'm coming for pudding?" Like that. And I just pointed back to your mum like that. I said, for the mother-in-law, she gets bunged up and these help her go. And then I just carried on walking thinking, oh, they're going to know her and they're going to say, he's a bit of a cheeky rotten gay.
Yep.
Anyway, it turns out she don't know him. And when we tell her this story back at house, she says they walked past and they were just laughing their heads off at her. Which is fab.
Yes.
So that was blackberry picking. Came home and we had ordered a ruby, ordered a curry.
Yeah, well, I think Leo's been wanting to order one, so...
And yeah, we are treating Leo, by the way. For about 3 months now, he's been treated like he's on death row. Every day it's like, what do you want, Leo? What can we buy you, Leo? What would you like to eat today, Leo? He's only going to bloody university.
To have the time of his life.
Yeah, exactly. Surely it's us who should be getting treated. So we order a curry and they can do paneer, which I know because your mum, Mike at the newsagents phoned him up and told him, do they do paneer? And then he phoned me and told me they do paneer. And I'm thinking, this is a cockeyed way of finding this out.
Yep.
But that's how it works in a village. So the order was done and it turned up, and I want to say it was the best and worst curry.
Yeah, it was actually really lovely.
The paneer tikka masala was the best paneer tikka masala we've ever had.
Yeah.
Rich red, very tasty, just the right amount of spice, beautiful.
Very British curry.
Yeah, British naans, them thick pillowy naan breads.
Yeah.
Absolutely loads of poppadoms. It was great, all the rices were great, everything was great. But we'd also ordered a paneer korma. And when we take the lid off, I'm spooning it onto my plate and I'm like, there's a lot of carrots in this. Who puts carrots in a korma? These orange, little round orange carrots. Luckily, I had not eaten any by the time you came round to spoon yours on, because...
Well, I was trying to not get the paneer. I like paneer, but I actually am quite happy not to have it. So I was just trying to spoon the sauce out. And as I'm trying to do it, all these little prawns are in there.
So they weren't slices of carrots, they were little round prawns doing carrot impressions.
So yeah.
So...
And we obviously don't eat fish.
And because of my OCD tendencies, when something like that has touched my plate, it's game over. And I didn't want to make a big fuss about it.
You did well, actually.
But
I think you're worse about...
It really put me off the rest of the meal. So, on the one hand, as I said, the best paneer tikka masala I've ever had. What was the place called? Alum Spice. Alum Spice. In where? Fawley?
Yeah.
So...
But what I will say is my mum phoned them up.
Yeah, and they replaced it.
They replaced it like...
Within 15 minutes.
Less I'd say.
And the guy was genuinely sorry as well. Now we've just turned round, we're almost at the top of the triangle, we're going to start walking away from the sea now. We're looking out towards Cowes, the mist is lifting.
Yeah.
We can see the Isle of Wight Ferry, the red funnel, disappearing towards Cowes.
Now I'm not getting what they're doing, because to me...
That's stand-up paddleboarding.
Yeah, but they're not doing anything.
No, it's because the exercise, it doesn't look like it, but their legs are tense, keeping that board balanced.
Right.
They're not racing by any means, but that is exercise. So there's two paddleboarders. It looks really serene. And the sea again, there's not a wave on the sea, is there?
No.
It's like a lake again. This could be a good beach day, this, you know.
Well,
might mind doing it on the beach day.
We need to recreate our picture.
And I was going to do the canoe, weren't I? We're going to get that inflatable kayak canoe thing for an hour. So that was it really. We had the curry last night.
All their curtains are open today.
We watched Changing Rooms, which Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen is back on Changing Rooms, and they couldn't make that show any more camp. It's like they sat down at a meeting and went, how camp can we make it? And they wrote down all the camp ideas, and then they went, make it more camp.
Yeah, but you know, if you're watching that show, then you camp like we are, so...
And it's great telly, isn't it? We all sat there, every single person, from Leo to us to your parents, and you're all shouting at telly. Lawrence he's camping it up something rotten in his tight leather trousers.
No one's told him, have they? No one said, Lawrence, those leather trousers that you wore,
and the tight suits and the tight waistcoats.
Yeah, that you were wearing 25 years ago, then they don't do it for you anymore.
I'll tell you what Lawrence has not got. That thing I've got, being a man with a bit of weight on me, I put clothes on, and if they start feeling a little bit tight, they go back in cupboard.
But he's got that thing, you know, where the zip cover,
yeah,
I don't know what you call that, it's probably got an official name. It doesn't fold over because
stretches.
It's so tight.
He looks like Cameo, who did Word Up. Word Up! He had a big red bulgy thing. Anyway, great telly. And that was pretty much the end of the day. We were shattered, weren't we?
Yeah, and...
Oh, actually, I should mention the Guinness, actually.
Oh.
I had a can. Again, it's on the Insta. A lot of people commented on that because I said... Well, I said, because it's 0.0, it should be sold in Spinneys and Carrefour. I tagged them all in it.
Yeah.
I tagged in the Irish Village. I tagged in McGettigan's. You know, that stuff should be sold at a reasonable price, which it won't be.
Yeah.
In the supermarkets in Dubai, in the UAE.
Well, it was less than £1 a can. So.
Yeah. But then again, I got from your dad that the most of the cost on Guinness is tax because of the alcohol, right? The alcohol's taxed so much. So it shouldn't be anywhere near as expensive because it's got no alcohol in it.
Yeah.
So once again, just like we get ripped off for being vegetarian, I also get ripped off for being a sober teetotaler.
Yeah.
That's a bin lorry. Again, very British. We're trying to get all the British things into this podcast. We've arranged the bin lorry to come past. So...
Yeah. Well, our aim was to stay up last night and play some games because, you know, it was our second to last night and obviously we want to spend as much time with the parents as we can.
Yeah.
But I was falling asleep in the middle of watching Lauren's trousers, so...
Yeah. I took a picture of you, actually.
Oh, did you? My mouth wide open.
The glasses were cockeyed. You had a hoodie on, and like a turtle, your head had gone into the hoodie. It's like you'd round your neck in.
I had, you know, when your body is gone, I just couldn't. And poor Betsy, I thought we were having an all-nighter.
Yeah. So, that was yesterday. Today, as we've said, last full day in Hampshire, in Calshot, our penultimate day before we set off travelling tomorrow morning, and the Hampshire Diaries become the Bristol Diaries.
Yeah, it's been lovely.
It's been great.
And the weather has been amazing.
I'm not leaving here thinking we've missed out on anything. We were going to go to Brighton for the day, that never happened. We were going to do Durdle Door.
I'm a bit gutted we've not done the Durdle Door, Lulworth.
Which looked really pretty, and I did quite fancy it. I was dreading the walk a little bit, but I think it would have been worth it because it's beautiful. I mean, we could do it today.
We could, there's still time.
But also we could do the beach. About me wanting to go to the beach.
I know.
First time ever. So...
if we go in, I'm taking my own flask of coffee.
Well, yeah. Anything that saves us a bit of money. Well, like you said about the gin, we've also got 700 bags of crisps, half a fridge freezer full of vegetarian ginsters and corn, and absolutely tons of chocolate.
Yeah.
So it all needs to be got rid of. So this has been a longer one today, but we had quite a bit to talk about.
Yeah, we packed a lot in yesterday.
We can see we're about, half a mile away.
Yeah.
Up the road, back to your mum's. So, as ever, thanks for listening. Do check out all the photos and videos on my Insta and my Insta stories.
Yeah.
Look at the bus stop.
Wow,
Is this a school bus?
Yeah, we've no. I don't think we've ever been.
There's a woman down there shouting at a little boy because he don't want to go to school. And at the bus stop, there's what?
I don't know, 20 kids, maybe less.
20 kids, mums and dads.
Well, this was my. This is what
Yeah.
I got the bus to school, but actually our bus stop was a little bit further up. But yeah.
Yours was Bon Jovi's tour bus though, weren't it? Because you'd been backstage with them the night before.
Yeah.
A different bus, Laura. So, we'll leave it there. Thanks as ever for keeping us company. Hope you're loving it. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
The end.